Famcast Media, bitch.
If I were to tell you that I was shocked by reading this, I'd be a fucking liar. I'm not shocked at all by this. In fact, if anything, well, if you guys notice a trend here, this isn't shocking. But let's just get into it. Morning, demons and demons. This is Kwame Wahkan here. Now, for those that have been paying attention to, the politics that have been going on all around the United States, a name that might have been, you might have heard, has been Mark Robinson, who is the Lieutenant Governor of North Carolina. Now, North Carolina is a battleground state. That state could either make or break the election for either one of the two candidates, whether it be Kamala Harris or Donald J. Trump. But right now, he's running for the governor of North Carolina. And let's just say he's made quite a few shocking statements in the past. I have a clip of that.
I absolutely want to go back to the America where women couldn't vote.
This is Mark Robinson. He's currently the Lieutenant Governor of North Carolina, and he's running to be governor. This resurfaced clip recently went viral, but it's just one of the many, many terrible things he's said over the years. Robinson's career started with a viral pro-gun speech after the 2018 Parkland school shooting.
I'm the majority.
He repeatedly mocked the tragedy on social media, calling survivors spoiled little bastards and media prostitutes. Robinson's Facebook is also full of anti-Semitism, like quoting Hitler, denying that 6 million Jews died in the Holocaust, and even declaring that Black Panther was a satanic Marxist film created to pull the shekels from black people's pockets. Keep in mind, his opponent in the gubernatorial race, Democrat Josh Stein, is Jewish. Robinson has also frequently ranted on social media about how being gay is a filthy abomination, equating it to pedophilia and suggesting it will bring about the end of civilization as we know it. And he's preached in sermons about how the pride flag makes him sick, calling it a direct spit in the face to God Almighty. He supports book bans to prevent teachers spreading their perverted agendas and says that schools shouldn't recognize the rights of queer and trans students.
Ain't but two genders.
Now, this may come as a shock, but Robinson also has some extremely beliefs about women. He said Christians should be led by men instead of women, and yes, he fondly reminisced about the time when women couldn't vote. He also supports a 6-week abortion ban and says Planned Parenthood has blood on their hands. So how did someone this terrible win the GOP nomination for governor? Well, because he was endorsed by Donald Trump, of course. Trump called him Martin Luther King on steroids, which is almost as confusing as it is offensive, especially since Robinson repeatedly criticized the civil rights movement as a communist scheme to subvert capitalism that destroyed black schools and businesses. This one guy could actually influence the entire election. How? Well, North Carolina is not a deep red state, so there's a chance that in the general election, moderate voters come out in droves to make sure this dude doesn't run their state. That could tip the scales at the top of the ballot, delivering North Carolina's 16 electoral votes to President Biden and potentially sealing his victory. Of course, anything can happen in an election. A right-wing extremist like Mark Robinson shouldn't be anywhere close to power, but he's already second in line to the governor's seat.
But as you guys know, I wouldn't be doing this segment. Honestly, I wasn't even planning on doing any segments on Mark Robinson because so many people have been covering it. But I've been getting so many requests on TikTok that now I feel like I have no choice. And plus with these bombshell, leaks and, revelations, I have to say something. Now, a new article came out and well, like I said, it doesn't really surprise me because, this is an ongoing trend with many people in the GOP. And this is the article. Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson's shocking internet posts reveal anti-Semitism, conspiracy theories, and trans adult films. Now, before I get into, reading this, just to add a little bit of context. Mark Robinson, this was back in the late 90s and the early 2000s. There has been reports that he would frequently go to, adult movie theaters, order pizza, and then watch adult films all night. Now, honestly, I wasn't going to report on that individually because, you know, he's a grown man. He's allowed to do whatever the hell he wants. You know, I'm not one of those prudes that's, you know, anti, you know, adult films or anything like that. You know, you're an adult. You're allowed to do whatever the hell you want with your own body. You know, if you want to create an OnlyFans, create an OnlyFans. You want to buy content on OnlyFans, but, you know, go ahead and buy content on OnlyFans. There's no shame in doing it. All it is just marketing. And, you know, like I said, the United States is a capitalist country. There's a market for anything, and adult films is one of them. So I'm not going to knock Mark Robinson for that. But let's read into this, because this gets pretty interesting. North Carolina Republican gubernatorial candidate Mark Robinson, previously the subject of a bombshell report alleging that he once patronized the private booths of an adult bookstore upwards of 5 days a week. Bloody hell, I didn't even realize it was that many. 5 days a week, that's like a full-time job right there. Is facing new accusations of anti-LGBTQ+ hypocrisy after CNN unearthed a pornographic message board account that appears to have belonged to the GOP politician. The CNN K-File report, published Thursday after feverish speculation among the political press about its contents, tied an account with the username Mini Soldier on the adult website Nude Africa to Robinson, demonstrating that he had used the same alias across multiple social media platforms in comments posted between 2008 and 2012. Robinson allegedly announced himself as a black Nazi and wrote that slavery is not all that bad, among several other controversial posts, many of which used racial, anti-LGBTQ+, and anti-Semitic slurs. Mark Robinson has also argued that trans women should be arrested for using women's restrooms and cast doubt on the number of Jews killed by Nazis during the Holocaust. Alright, that's fucking disgusting. Notably, CNN reported that Mini Soldier once wrote, "I like watching T-slur on girl porn. That's effing hot. It takes the man out while leaving the man in," Robinson wrote. And yeah, I'm a perv too. Alright, I'm gonna stop right there. Right, well, that definitely does not make you a perv, alright? Let me tell you, I'm gonna just tell everybody this. Liking trans women does not make you a perv. It does not make you a freak. It does not make you, you know, weird or an outcast or anything. Alright, it's natural for a heterosexual man to like women, regardless of whether they're trans or not. Alright, this whole idea that, you know, liking trans women or having a crush on someone who's trans or, you know, watching adult films that involve trans women makes you some sort of sick person. It doesn't. You're just as normal as anybody else. If it's perfectly normal for a straight heterosexual man to watch cis women, then it's no different for any heterosexual man to watch a trans woman. Alright, enough said, there's no debate there. The news outlet referenced multiple comments in which the user had expressed an affinity for transgender films, with this provided as an example. My word. Robinson, currently the state's lieutenant governor, has previously referred to transgenderism and homosexuality as filth. In addition to past statements supporting Holocaust denialism and endorsing an anti-abortion stance, long beset by scandal, including a 2022 admission that he had paid for an abortion in 1989. My word, this guy is like a walking, talking definition of hypocrisy. You open up the dictionary, look at hypocrisy, I guarantee you can find a picture of Mark Robinson right there. Robinson has been trailing in the polls behind Democratic opponent Josh Stein, who is currently serving as North Carolina's Attorney General. Also, just want to add a little bit of, you know, context. I know I'm interrupting about this. Well, I'm sorry. Now, Josh Stein is ethnically Jewish. So I can only imagine what the Stein campaign is going to do with these allegations. And to be honest with you, I hope he runs circles around Mark Robinson, because this is not somebody we need in office. You're going to deny... We're talking about a situation where 12 million people were slaughtered and basically just wiped off the face of the planet. 12 million people. And you're going to deny all that after all the evidence. Where do you think all those 12 million... What, did they just disappear with it? Did they get abducted by aliens? This guy's full of shit. The gubernatorial race has taken on added significance amid a close presidential contest between former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris, with North Carolina positioned as a key battleground state. Ahead of the CNN report, Robinson released a video statement to the conservative outlet National Review, later posted to X, maintaining that he would be staying in this race despite rumored pressure from the state Republican Party to drop out. Robinson repeatedly denied to CNN that he was mini-soldier on Nude Africa ahead of the article's publication, calling its contents salacious tabloid lies. Now, I'm going to say this again. Is anybody surprised by this? I honestly look at this guy and I'm like, when I heard all of the things that this guy was saying about trans people and about women and about Jewish people, honestly, all I did was set my watch because it was only a matter of time before this guy's secrets were all exposed. I'm like, it's usually the same people that go on and on and on about the evils of homosexuality and the evils of, transgender people. They're always the one that's doing some dirty things in the dark. In this case, he's going to movie theaters, he's watching these types of films, he's ordering pizza. I mean, just imagine the look on some of these people's faces, Hey, Mr. Robinson, how you doing this morning? You have a mushroom on the side of your... Wait, I don't think that's a mushroom. That's... Oh my God. But like I said, this doesn't really surprise me at all. They always have to go overboard with everything. Every accusation that these people make is a confession. It's a confession of what their dark desires are. Because they know that the people that they associate with, they can't live in their truth. They can't be who they really want to be. So they do all that stuff behind closed doors. And when it goes out, they're like, oh, it's all a lie. I didn't do any of this. I wasn't watching any of those films. I'm a Christian. I believe in God. I believe in... No, the fuck you don't. So this is all just play, and this is all just a big fat show and a big fat game to one of the most disgusting men in the country right now. And even the hypocrisy aside, the stuff that he said about women, the stuff they say about abortion, despite the fact that you yourself have gotten one. So what, you want to burn the bridge after you cross it? Oh, well, I wanted my wife to get an abortion, but I don't want yours to get one. Unfucking believable. I swear, I think this guy is basically... I'm not sure if anybody here watches the Boondocks, but I think this guy is the real live version of Uncle Ruckus. Hello, you little white boys and girls. I'm your Uncle Mark Robinson, no relation. And I just want to let you know, I really don't like watching these films with the transgender and the LGBTQYXWZ people, That is just absolutely filthy, I'm not 102% African, I'm really just, like the movie Meet Dave. I look black on the outside, but I think I got revitiligo and I got little aliens inside of this body. I worship President Ronald Reagan. I want to go to white heaven. Blah, 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 blabbity, blah, blah, malarkey. Huey Freeman and Robert Freeman. I don't like those people. I like, people like Ed Wunsler. But I personally think Donald Trump is the best person we had in the country. Donald Trump definitely needs to be in the White House in 2024. Hallelujah. Praise white Jesus. Oh, man, you don't know how hard it was for me to try and mimic that bloody voice. But either way, do I think that, this is going to hurt Mark Robertson in the election? It may and it may not, because, you have a lot of these MAGA Republicans, all of these religious conservatives that will just back him no matter what. Then you have those that are, part of, the far right that are like, you know what? This guy may be black, but this guy says he wants to associate himself with the NAZIS. So we're probably going to support him either way. And then you have, the anti-abortion people might support him. The anti-LGBTQ people, they might try to distance himself because, this hypocrisy. And, he can try and, say that this isn't him all he wants. But the fact of the matter is, if you do any bit of research and do a deep dive, this used to be Mark Robinson's Twitter handle, the Mini Soldier. And apparently, some of the things he said, well, he's not really good at covering his tracks or trying to create an alias. Everything that Mini Soldier said, timestamp marked with all of the events that happened in Mark Robinson's life. About his military service, apparently Mini Soldier was also in the military at the same time that Mark Robinson was. He had a mother that works at an HBCU. Once again, Mark Robinson also has a mother that works for an HBCU. Then on top of that, this goes more into the hypocrisy rather than the timestamping. Apparently, Mini Soldier was a big fan of, drumroll please, T.S. Madison. Now, for those that don't really know who T.S. Madison is, back in the early 2000s, she was a very famous transgender adult film star. Now, as of lately, she has since retired. She's gotten into podcasting, and her career is doing quite well. She's an outspoken advocate for, black people, trans women, and, is very supportive of the community. So, the way I see it, there's no shame in liking T.S. Madison. She's really good at what she does. She's an amazing actress. Like I said, if you're into that type of stuff, by all means, go purchase some of her content. You guys won't regret anything. And to be honest with Mark Robinson, T.S. Madison is very well endowed. So, like I said, there's no shame in that. He's a black man. He likes what he fucking likes. But to be a blatant hypocrite about it, and then to use your position of power to crush and stomp down on people in that community, that's absolutely shameful and disgusting. And to be honest with you, I'm glad he's been outed like this. But who knows how this is going to turn out for him. All I can say is I hope he makes the right decision and drops out, because this is not something that we need in North Carolina's history. If he gets elected, he'll be the first black governor. But at the same time, it's going to suck knowing that your first black governor is an NAZI. A self-described NAZI. But that's up to the voters to decide. Hopefully they make the right decision in this case. But this is going to do some serious damage to the GOP. And to be honest, he has no one to blame but himself. So, that's all I got to say about this. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. Alright, stay safe, stay metal, hail Satan, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.
I shut 'em down.